I have no idea if this mic is working, but I am just going to try and use it anyways. Welcome to me talking about something very vulnerable and scary because I feel very vulnerable and I am very scared. And this probably could have just gone in my journal, but I feel like I really need to audibly speak a lot of the thoughts that I've been having as I've been going through this process and things are getting closer and closer. I was always really jealous of people who knew what they wanted to do growing up. You know, you kind of meet some people sometimes and they're like, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I knew I wanted to be a veterinarian or an author or a mechanic or whatever. I never had that. I always had interests, but I never clearly knew what I wanted my career to be or even what I really wanted my life to look like. I'm really grateful now that I do enjoy my life. I like what I've done. I like where I've ended up. I like how my days look. I like my job. But when I was in college, I did some exploring for what I wanted to do for a career. I always knew that I wanted something fulfilling. Growing up, I had a really big passion for reading and writing, and I always thought that I would become an author. But once I got to college, I really found myself loving science, anatomy, physiology, neuro courses, and things related. In that time, learned about job shadowing, and it was through job shadowing that I had the opportunity to observe in a couple of physical therapy clinics, and eventually did decide that I wanted to apply to and go to physical therapy school. Physical therapy is a doctorate degree, and programs range from anywhere from 2 to 4 years, the average being a 3-year program. I am in the process of applying. And even though it's something that I've kind of swayed back and forth on and really thought about for 3 or 4 years now, it's still extremely nerve-wracking. I am someone who struggles with equating my self-worth as a person to how I do with my academics, as well as how well I do with the opportunities that I make for myself and that get presented to me. And so physical therapy school is a really big and scary goal. I do still feel like after I finished up my undergrad that I have more that I want to do. Even though I enjoy my job and my position where I am at in life, I feel like I can do more. And when I was observing and going through my classes, I found myself really growing a passion for the profession. It really takes my values and my interests and just molds them into the great career that it is. And it's something that I can see myself doing. So why so much doubt? I am also going to preface, even though I am really scared and I have a lot of doubt, I am going to apply, but applying is a lot more nerve-wracking and daunting than not applying would be, because the application just requires all of me, and the program will require all of me. It will require a lot of sacrifice. It's a big leap financially, and there's really mixed reviews from the physical therapists that I've worked with. And I don't know if it's the current economy that's making me hesitant or if it is those opinions and experiences of others that are putting doubt in my mind, or if it's simply myself and knowing that this will be the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, at least academically. But I also know that I'm not the only one in feeling this way, which is why I wanted to talk about it a little bit, even though my words are completely scrambled and very, very everywhere up here. See, I'm starting to nervous fidget. I don't know. I mean, everyone talks about it's going to be the hardest 3 years of your life, and then you're going to have this nice long career. And that is so exciting. That is one of the major reasons that I want to go into this field. I want a career that is fulfilling. I love working with patients at my current job, and I loved working with them when I was a student observing. I love everything that physical therapy is able to offer me and the way that I'm going to be able to grow through it. it, understanding every muscle, organ, nerve within the body, knowing different tests to do based off of a patient's concerns and complaints in history, and then being able to form those long-lasting relationships with patients in order to improve quality of life. I mean, it really... I'm smiling talking about it. It's going to be fantastic. So I think what is holding me back mentally and really starting to scramble me as I'm getting ready to turn this application in next month is myself and whether or not I can do this. The past 4 years, as I've been thinking about it, I know it's going to be hard. I've never met a person who's like, I did any grad program and thought it was easy. They're all going to take work, and I just don't know what it is. There's this self-doubt in myself that I won't get in and I'll be absolutely horrifically crushed and maybe apply again or explore other avenues. I'm really hoping that that's just not a possibility. And of course, I'm going to get in on my first try. Not to mention, it's really daunting to be submitting an application where you are painting the best version of yourself. And constantly while I'm painting this picture, I'm wondering, am I actually good enough? Because I've put in all this work and it would just be heartbreaking for it to not surmount to my end goal, at least on the first try. So yeah, I don't know what this video is. I don't know exactly what it's for. Maybe very selfishly it's for my own relief. But I know that as these application cycles are coming up, I'm not the only one with these feelings, and so I hope that someone was able to listen and relate to this. There's this mantra or quote that I've been trying to repeat to myself during this process, and that is, if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. This dream is big, and it is scary. And it's also the accumulation of not only my work, but of the support and opportunities that everyone else has given me. So yeah, it feels like this big responsibility that I don't want to take for granted. And even if I am scared and nauseated every single time I open up my application, I'm going to continue to push forward because I know that there is something much bigger and better on the other side, and that even if it is challenging, I will be a better person for it. Sorry, this video was a lot of rambling. I swear that I had things planned up here and they really just left the moment that I set everything up. Not to mention it kind of took a second to set everything up. Leave a comment if you can relate to this at all because I know I'm not the only one, and I want you to know that you're seen and you're heard, and that if you feel alone, you're not, because I am here for you. Anyways, thanks for letting me talk about it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.